What a family good sport that's 20 Mary is 6:09 a.m. in my city, Chicago. Thursday, October the 2nd, 2020. 50% on my phone. All right. You know, the Mexicans, they had slaves also. And everybody that tried to help them, like Guerrero, you understand what I'm saying? The Mexican leader or whatever that was dark skinned, part of Africa or African. You know, soon as they helped the stringy haired Mexicans who was more Caucasian, they killed them. All right, y'all do know that, right? Now, I'm not a prejudiced person. You know what I mean? Because I believe just like the animals, God made us all for a purpose and not just one group to be better than the next. That's just how I think. I'm going all the way to 619. Now, people that want to come up and they know you somebody and they in a situation and they trying to get out, they'll throw you under the bus. And my family was in a situation, or people who I thought was my family or whatever, and they wanted to come up and they threw me under the bus. Okay, so I met this stringy haired Italian, you know, Donna Marie Evans and her son Mario Darrell Evans, when I was with my, you know, uh, so-called niece Juanita Nelson on the King Drive bus. You understand what I'm saying? And, Donna was older than me, 9 years older than me. I was 18. She was 27. It was a setup. I didn't know, okay? Forgive me for not knowing. But when people know your potentials and know you better than you know yourself, they come after you. Now, everybody know the Mexicans, they robbed me, man. Real talk. They ain't the only one. Everybody jumped on the bandwagon, but now they in what you call, I guess, line of power because of that line that Tupac said, get along with the Mexicans, there'll be peace on the set again. But what he didn't see was the future. Like, he was like the Guerrero of our generation. But he didn't realize that the Mexicans didn't like him either. You understand what I'm saying? For real. He spoke Spanish and everything. Tupac, right? Look, I tried getting along with Mexicans. I used to work at food stuff. I was the first girl to drive a truck to different stores called, food stuff, to deliver pastries or whatever the case. And they had this black guy named John. This is based on a true story. He was, a heavy set guy, and he was in control of the books, and he was the bookkeeper. And, it was only us two working there, that was of color. That guy worked there for a long time. Do you know when he told them that he bought a house, for his family or whatever, they fired him. They worked me so hard, I didn't realize pastries and food was that heavy. You understand? I was like, they worked me so hard, I got a hernia. I ended up, leaving. They gave me $1,500 and workman's comp. And, I left and, went in business for myself at the mall on Chase and Clark. And now it's a math and science school, but it was called Clark Mall. And the manager, that fired him and, used to look over me. He came up to the mall because, I guess he heard that I was in business for myself. But when I got in the mall, right, now it was only about 2 or 3 blacks at the time. They waited till I had the Mexicans and the Chinese and everybody or whatever. But like I said, it was just like 3 blacks, and one of them was a mulatto, and he sold like gang banging music or whatever. So I knew it wasn't the same music. So I'm in the back. The space was available. I was in the back, right? You understand what I'm saying? And they waited till I, you know, laid down the rug that I spent $300 to lay down, trying to, represent for my people and stuff. You understand what I'm saying? Not too far from the AA meeting that I, you know, helped build up in the community, 10 years and more. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, let's see if they gonna support me or whatever. Of course, the AA people, they really didn't. They wanted to see if I was how long I was gonna last or whatever, if anything. But the Hispanics that did support me, was still, eating off my plate and stuff, because when I got in there, I'm thinking I could sell my music, even though they said it in the contract, you know, I, I wasn't supposed to sell music or whatever, because it wasn't in the contract. But everybody know I sold music, right? Long story short, I'm in the back. I sold a little bit of everything. It was music and pillows and this, that, and the third. It was nice, right? They waited until I, fixed up the place and stuff. And about a week later, they talking about, yeah, they said you're selling music. It's not in the contract. You're gonna have to move, because the guy that's selling, gangbanger music, he was like black and white or whatever, you know, it's messing up his business. You understand what I'm saying? And y'all too close. I'm like, we're not selling the same music. Oh, well, okay. So, of course, I lost money before I started, because I had to hurry up and get, you know, give them a deal. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's all they wanted. Give them a deal, hurry up and stuff, and then just the music and the movies and the games that I was selling, I moved to the front, down from the Hispanic who was selling, Hispanic movies and music, this, that, and the third or whatever. Now, they said I had to move from the back because of the guy, right? But when I got to the front, guess what? They started selling American music. Yeah. He didn't stop selling either. You understand what I'm saying? And I was like, man, damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? So, I said all that to say, I can give a lot of reasons. Cat Williams went through hell because of the Hispanics. The guy that's saying, the rapper that's I can rumble. You understand what I'm saying? See, any slight disrespect, that they think you have for them. Another time, my ex-girlfriend, Donna Marie Evans, who's a banker, real estate agent, and the one that stole my writings and stuff for real and parlayed into empire. She was my so-called paid when they gave me my little Social Security check back in the day, right? And, I was at this place because they had railroad me and stuff, and she brought me the little Kool-Aid check. At the time, it was about $400 something. Some told me to put it on the windowsill, right, and walk away. And this Hispanic, he was in there cleaning up and stuff. He came out, I went in. He didn't leave me not $1. Did I go off? No. I just wanted to see who I was dealing with. So now they in my building. They done took over my building, right? I know this is my building, 6210 South Kennebuck Avenue, Chicago, North 60637, apartment 308. You understand what I'm saying? I know I'm supposed to have something. I know they're using my bank account and this, that, and third. I know this to be a fact because my ex-girlfriend, Donna Marie Evans, the Italian Stallion, is a real estate agent and a banker, and she stole my writings. So I understand what's going on. But is it worth dying for? That's all I want to know. Because, see, I did try to get along with the Mexicans so there'll be peace on the set again. But that peace is guns, because y'all going to have to fight for y'all revolution and freedom, people of color. And everybody that's jumping on the bandwagon, the Africans and all you African-American, Mexican-American, Chinese-Americans that came over here and used us real Americans. Like Cat Williams say, where we gonna go? And if I die, we all die. This the 4, color purple ass niggas. This the 14. That's on the true story. This the 2. And this the 11, you thieves. Peace.